Hello everybody, and welcome to Art with Nathan. Today we're going to paint an abstract painting, alright? So this is going to have a lot to do with how we're feeling, the moment in time that we're experiencing, our reactions to the paint, the tools we use. So let's just dive right into it. For starters, I'm working with a canvas that is 12 by 24. It is 1 3/8 inches cradled gallery wrap. I got this from Dick Blick's. So first thing, I'm going to pour some water in this container, alright? And then I'm going to add some paint. So I'm going to go with the blue, and I'm going to have it be very watered down. This is going to be the background of the painting, or part of the background. Now when I do this, I don't know what the final product is going to look like. This isn't representational. This is purely abstract. I am going to attempt to paint the edges of the painting too when I do this, so it will not need to be framed. So let's just get right into it, alright? I also have my rag, several jars for holding colors of paint. So I've thoroughly wet this brush with a blue paint, alright? It is a magenta blue hue from Basics. Let's just get right into it. As you can see, I am allowing the drips to form naturally. I'm kind of just working with the medium. Whatever the medium wants to do, I allow it to do it without too much thought. These drips are even coming to the bottom. That's cool. Alright, so now this is the first layer. I'm going to actually just wait and let it dry completely. Alright, we're back. The first part of the painting is completely dried, the blue we put on. Just for the record, if I didn't mention, I'm using acrylic paint for this. I did set up a fan to allow it to dry faster. Acrylic paint dries fast already, but the fan expedites the process. So now let's continue. I'm going to use the color yellow next. So I'm going to put some yellow in here and do the same process I did for the blue part. Add some water into this container and use this one. So I'm going to mix it. This might seem kind of ugly at first, but a painting is a process. It doesn't happen in an hour or 2 hours. It can take days. This is going to take several hours over the course of several days to complete. Alright, so I got this yellowish paint. The technical color is Naples Yellow Hue. And by the way, I made a mistake before. The color before I used was Magnese Blue Hue. So I take this and I apply it. It's very light, but that's okay. You can see the paint's interreacting with the other layer slightly. It's okay. I'm not going to paint over the part I already painted if I can help it. I'm going to paint down here. This is a very light color, but that's okay. Like I said, painting is a process. Oh, look at that. Alright, so I did that layer. It's very light. It's a kind of muddy yellow. I'm just going to let it dry. I'm going to turn on the fan, let it dry, and I'll come back and then we'll work on our third layer. And this is the background basically already set. So everything beyond this will be maybe more opaque paint. And I will be back in a little bit after this dries, alright? Alright everybody, we're back. The background layer has dried sufficiently. I've just added some red paint to this jar. It is brilliant red. So I'm going to mix it in this jar with this small brush. There was a paint color in here already, but it completely dried out, so I couldn't use it. So I am mixing the red, and I'm going to add a little bit of white. This is titanium white. It's a small amount. And this is the fun part. This is where we get really jiggy with it. I have an idea. I'll be right back. I'm going to get a fork. I'm making sure to get the edges, so the edges are just as engaging as the front. I'm going to do some white now. I'm going to use this brush. As you can see, the red paint is mixing with the white, making a pinkish color. Kind of cool. You can see I'm just allowing the paint to do what it wants to do, to react the way it wants to react. Alright, so I'm satisfied with that. I'm now going to turn the fan on and let it dry. And I will come back after it's completely dry, alright? And we'll continue. Also, by the way, every time I finish a layer, I do clean off my brushes. I make sure the paint doesn't dry out, cap everything up, clean off the fork, and I let the layer completely dry. And we will continue and move forward from here. Alright everybody, we're back. The painting is fully dried now. After looking at it and thinking, I've noticed it lacks contrast, so I'm going to resolve that now. Alright? I'm going to take some black, and I'm going to add a tiny amount of water, and we're going to do a technique of splattering the paint on me. So let's see if I can make this work. There we go. Now I'm going to use the fork again. Alright, now I'm going to turn the fan on and let it dry. And I will reconsider what I did, what I need to do next, and I'll be back. Alright guys, we are back. We are going to proceed with the painting. And I believe this will be the last layer I will do for today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix some paint. Take some of this Naples yellow hue and put it here. And I'm going to add some brilliant red. I'm going to take this brush and mix it together. And it's getting like a light pink color, but I'm going to have to be very opaque, very non-transparent. Maybe a little more of the Naples yellow hue. A lot more actually. I want it to be more orange if I can. I don't have pure yellow here, so you'll have to bear with me. So we're getting almost like a sherbet color. And I'm going to apply this very thickly. I think it's time to put some really thick paint on this painting, so let's do it. I'm going to be very precise, so watch me as I place it very precisely. I'm going to change to a different brush. This brush, use a dry brush technique. As you can see, the different colors are starting to interact with one another, having different feelings and effects as they're being placed over different colors. So that will complete that layer. I'm going to stop for the day and I will come back tomorrow. Alright guys, we're back. I decided to do one more layer today before I leave for the day. So let's get started. I'm going to use alizarin crimson hue. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to use a watered down paint this time, highly transparent. I'm going to mix it and let's go for it. I'm going to let it drip. I'm going to be very selective about the application of the specific color. And I'm going to stop there, and now I'm finally done for today, day 1. I will come back on day 2 tomorrow. Hello everybody, we're back and today is day 2 of Art with Nathan. So let's jump right into it. I've mixed a highly transparent blue color to kind of pull the painting back together with the colors visually. So let's get started and apply this. Alright guys, we're going to stop there and let this layer dry and then we'll continue. The last layer is finally dried, so now I'm going to continue. Now I'm going to use a watercolor, a yellow watercolor. So I'm going to mix the water with the watercolor. Let's go for it. Alright, now I'm going to think of adding another color. So I'm going to switch my brush. Actually, I'll use the same brush, I'll just clean it off. And this time I'm going to do green, a light green. Alright, I'm going to stop right now and let this layer dry, let the yellow and green dry. What I like to do sometimes too is I hang it on my wall and I look at it and analyze it and think about it. Let's let this dry. I'll turn the fan on. Now I'm going to continue with the painting. Alright, I'm going to stop and let this layer dry. We are back. I'm now going to add some white stripes to various elements of the painting, so I will now proceed. Alright, I'm going to stop now and let this dry and then we'll continue. Alright guys, we're back. I've mixed some water with the Maple's yellow hue. I've mixed it thoroughly, so now I'm going to apply it wherever I see fit. Alright, I'm going to stop here for today on day 2, and I'm going to let it completely dry, and I'm going to look at it a bunch, and we're getting close to the end. Most likely I'll finish tomorrow on day 3, do some interesting things, maybe use some sandpaper, and we will see what happens. So I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to stop right now and I'll be back. Alright guys, we're back. It's day 3 today, and I'm going to continue with this painting. I've created a watered down brownish red color, and I'm going to apply it to various areas to enhance the image. So let's get started. Alright, we're going to stop and let that dry. Alright, we're back. I've added some water to this brilliant yellow-green color, and I'm going to attempt to splatter it on the canvas very delicately. So let's get started. Alright, we are back. Now I am actually very satisfied with the way it looks. Part of being an artist is knowing when to stop. I believe this is finished now, so to complete it I'm going to sign it with my initials, NH, in black paint. And that is it. So now I'm going to put it on the wall, take a nice picture of it for you guys to see very clearly, and that concludes Art with Nathan.